Have you ever watched a coworker's face transform from friendly customer service to absolute despair in seconds? That moment when their smile freezes and their eyes scream, "Help me?" There's a good chance they just encountered one of these 10 customer types that drive retail workers to update their resumes on their lunch break. You might be thinking, "I've dealt with difficult customers before, they can't be that bad." But trust me, these aren't your everyday difficult interactions. These are the encounters that retail workers still talk about years later. The first type, the ghost communicator. These customers approach with complex questions but provide absolutely zero context. Does this work with the thing I bought last week? Which thing? What did you buy? From where? The ghost communicator expects employees to be mind readers, becoming increasingly frustrated when the worker can't magically access their purchase history or read their thoughts. Next time you're shopping, take a moment to provide basic details. Retail workers will secretly adore you for it. But wait, before we continue, have you ever been that person standing in line while someone argues about a return policy? How did it make you feel? That frustration you experienced is exactly what leads us to our next type, the policy lawyer. This customer has never read the store's return policy, but is somehow convinced there are exceptions to every rule. I know it says 14 days, but it's been 15, so basically the same thing. They'll demand to speak to managers, cite non-existent laws, and create scenes worthy of courtroom dramas, all to return a $10 item they clearly used. Remember our ghost communicator? At least they're quiet about their confusion. Speaking of quiet, let's talk about number 3, the silent judge. Unlike our first 2 vocal offenders, these customers say nothing while employees demonstrate products or answer questions. They just stare, expressionless, occasionally offering a slight head movement that could mean anything from "I'm listening" to "I'm plotting your demise." The psychological warfare is real, folks. A retail worker once told me these customers haunt their dreams more than the angry ones. Have you noticed how all these types share one thing in common? They forget retail workers are actual humans with feelings. Which brings us perfectly to number 4, the personal space invader. These customers lean over counters, touch screens while workers are using them, and stand so close you can identify their breakfast choices. They'll follow employees around the store, continuing conversations into break rooms and even restrooms. If you've ever wondered why retail workers develop ninja-like abilities to disappear between aisles, now you know. You might be thinking, "I always keep a respectful distance, so I must be a good customer." But hold that thought, because number 5 might hit closer to home than you expect. The last-minute lingerer. The store closes in 5 minutes, but this customer just started browsing like they have all day. Announcements about closing time are apparently background music to them. They'll approach the register at 1 minute past closing with a cart full of items, complex questions, and often expired coupons. Remember the silent judge from earlier? Workers give these customers the same expressionless stare, but now with keys in hand. Halfway through our list, and I can already hear some of you saying, "But I need to shop right before closing sometimes." I get it. Life gets busy. The difference is being aware and efficient, which is exactly what our next customer type refuses to be. The distracted multitasker. These customers shop while on important phone calls, barely acknowledging workers except to gesture vaguely at products. They'll ask questions, then immediately return to their conversation, missing the answer entirely. Then they'll ask the same question again and again. Think of our policy lawyer's persistence combined with the ghost communicator's vagueness. A truly challenging combination. Now let's take a quick second. Have you ever been in line behind someone arguing about a price that was literally just 50 cents less? Then you've met customer type 7, the penny pincher extraordinaire. They'll demand price matches for different products, argue about pennies, and hold up lines for discounts that cost less than the gas they use driving to the store. Unlike our last-minute lingerer who values their own time too much, these customers seem to have infinite time to debate minuscule amounts. The irony isn't lost on the workers watching other customers abandon their purchases and leave. Isn't it fascinating how some people can make such a scene over so little? That perfect segue brings us to number 8, the public performer. Everything is an opportunity for drama. A mild inconvenience becomes a personal attack. They don't just want solutions, they want an audience. They'll loudly announce how they're never shopping here again, making promises no one wants them to break. Remember our silent judge? This is their polar opposite, all emotion, all volume, all the time. You might wonder what could possibly be worse than these theatrical displays. Let me introduce you to number 9, the aisle abandoner. These customers change their minds about items and leave them anywhere. Frozen foods in the clothing section, opened packages on random shelves, half-consumed drinks hidden behind products. They create scavenger hunts no worker signed up for. Think of our personal space invaders' disregard for boundaries, but applied to the entire store environment. And finally, number 10, possibly the most dreaded, the just-looking destroyer. These customers claim they're just browsing while systematically unfolding every shirt, opening every package, and testing every product. Within minutes, they transform organized displays into disaster zones that take hours to reset. Unlike our aisle abandoner who hides their chaos, these customers leave destruction in plain sight. So, next time you're shopping, take a moment to notice which of these you might accidentally be. The good news? Being aware is half the battle. The retail workers of the world will thank you. Maybe not out loud, but certainly in those break room conversations where the legends of terrible customers live forever. Found this helpful? Hit that like button and share which customer type you've encountered most often. Your comments might just feature in our next video. 10 ways customers save retail workers' sanity. Until next time.